Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members are advised that votes are no longer expected in the House tomorrow. Last votes, we still have more work to do. Don't celebrate too early. Last votes for the week and the month are expected now at approximately 2:50 today, so we will have one more vote series today. Then we will be finished for the August work period. I'll remind the House that just during this month, this House has completed the National Defense Authorization Act, the FAA Reauthorization Act, the Schools Note Shelter Act, and we just passed, of course, the Military Construction and Veterans Affairs Appropriations Act to make sure that our veterans, to make sure that we fully fund health care for our veterans, we support suicide prevention, and we also fund housing and other services for our men and women in uniform who keep us safe. With that, I would be happy to yield to the Democrat whip, Ms. Clark.
Thank you. I appreciate the leader for yielding. I think we have very different definitions of success for the American people. As Democrats, we have been focused and have been successful in growing our economy by growing the middle class, lowering health care costs, making sure that we are addressing climate change, having safer communities. And now, the Republican conference is saying they are sending us home for 6 weeks without funding the government, that we have one bill out of 12 completed because extremists are holding your conference hostage. And that's not the full story. The extremists are holding the American people hostage. We will have 12 days when we return to fund the government, to live up to the job the American people sent us here to do. This is a reckless march to a MAGA shutdown. And for what? In pursuit of a national abortion ban? Is that what we are doing here? The American people see through this. They know who is fighting for them, fighting for solutions. Your time is coming. The American people are watching. They are going to demand accountability. We should be staying here, completing these appropriation bills, stripping out the toxic, divisive, bigoted riders that have been put on these bills, and get back to work for freedom and for our economy and the American family. I yield back.
House to be in order. Gentleman from Louisiana is now recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I would agree with the gentlelady on one thing that she just said. The American people are watching. And what the American people just watched is every single Democrat vote against funding veterans benefits. Every single one. But thank goodness this Republican majority stood together and put the votes on the board, $138 billion, so our veterans will get the benefits that they deserve and earn. And if the Democrats are going to be extreme and walk away from that responsibility, we will be here standing to make the call, to make the tough votes, to get that work done, as the Appropriations Committee has done over and over again on bills that in committee Democrats have walked away from over and over again. So it's a little rich to complain about going home. We could stay here and watch you vote against every single other appropriations bill. We're going to continue negotiations during the August recess to make sure we get back to funding the priorities of the nation. And by the way, Mr. Speaker, when I talk about funding the priorities of the nation, Let's talk about our nation's defense as we just funded our nation's veterans. Let's get back to funding things that actually help our military focus on the threats from China, not teaching hatred of America from within. Yes, we defunded that. So, Mr. Speaker, we will continue to do our job through the next weeks and months. We invite all to come to work like we have come to work to try to come to an agreement, not just to vote no, but to come to an agreement to solve these problems, to pass these bills. If both sides won't, we still will do that work. And I would yield one more time to the gentlelady.
Be in order.
Mr. Speaker, the House is not in order.
The House will be in order. The House will be in order.
Are those even words strikeable?
The gentlelady from Massachusetts is recognized.
Mr. Leader, we are going to continue to stand in this country for some basic principles, that we are sent here for the American people, that we are sent here to defend their freedom, that we are sent here to grow an economy that isn't just for the wealthy and well-connected, but is for the American family. That's the work we're doing. That is the basis of the great economic news coming out, and we are going to continue that fight. We hope that you will say no to extremism, to hatred, to bigotry that is put into these appropriation bills, and say yes to solutions and fairness for the American people, and to build an economy where they can see themselves. Funding our government is our basic job. The comments from the GOP conference about how we could go into a MAGA shutdown and it wouldn't matter are outrageous. The last time we had a shutdown, it was $11 billion out of this economy. And don't talk to us about standing for veterans when the GOP was the ones that have cut veterans' housing, has cut their health care, has said to our women, our active women, military women, said it is okay to ask our military women to fight. You have said to our active duty women that it is okay to fight for freedom for our country, but we are going to take your freedom away. That is not okay. I yield back.
Gentleman from Louisiana is recognized.
Once again, Mr. Speaker, interesting that on the other side would talk about cutting health care benefits when we just had a bill to fund health care benefits to the tune of $138 billion, and every Democrat voted no. We passed the bill with Republican votes. We will continue to do our work. We'll continue standing up to the extremists on the left who want to bring our country to a socialist direction with lies and misrepresentations. We heard it. They said that benefits would be cut. We just passed a bill that strengthened those benefits. They voted no, so maybe that means they wanted to cut those benefits. We didn't. We stood in the brink and we voted to support our veterans. We're going to continue negotiations during this work period to keep working to get the job done, to work for the people that sent us here, not to work for the people who want to change this country to something that is unrecognizable in socialist nations. Let's stand up for America. Let's keep getting the job done. We have more work to do. I yield back.